It's so easy a caveman can do it. The translation in French is, it is as easy as putting your finger in the nose, which is so funny. But you know what's really funny? My boyfriend has big fingers and he actually cannot put his finger in his nose. I wonder what happened to our cat, the cat that was walking with us and following us. I haven't seen it. I'm back. Hey guys, welcome to a really fun video of mine. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to make a really fun video because when I was in my French language school in Saint-Étienne called Selec, one of my favorite parts of class was going over French expressions. I just found them so funny and they made absolutely no sense to me. Basically, it's the expressions that we use in English. We see how the French use it. So I have a list right here with me and I want to read them off to you because they're just so funny and just like heartwarming, and they literally make no sense. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about things that I have never done before or heard before moving to France. Let's get into it. One thing that I have not heard of before moving to France was definitely the packs. Now I did a couple of videos on the packs, so you can go check that out if you want to, but I think it's super cool that they do have the packs here in France, which basically was created to allow homosexual couples to have the same rights as heterosexual couples. And a lot of couples do it today, hetero couples as well. As you can see in one of my videos, I did a PAX video. So PAX is super cool. It does not exist anywhere else outside of France. Definitely not in America, so kudos France. Anyways, the next one would be that I didn't know there was so much chocolate in everything. Chocolate croissants, chocolate bread, chocolate cereal. We have a lot of chocolate in America, but just also the culture here of going to the boulangerie. When I do go to the boulangerie, there are just so many chocolate options. Chocolate madeleine. Oh, also one of my favorite is chocolate crepes. Now I have never tried this before in America. I'm sure they probably have it, of course. But when I first visited France, the number one thing I told my boyfriend to please bring me when you pick me up from the airport is a bag of chocolate crepes. Now I just loved it. I got tired of the taste because I ate too many, but I love it. Another one is boudin. Boudin, oh God, how do I describe this? Boudin is basically where you take the pig's blood and you put it back inside of the intestines and then you cook it in boiling water, or some people, yeah, put it in boiling water and that's it. Now, it was kind of like a barbecue setup when I went to my boyfriend's uncle's house for a little outdoor, what we would think of as like a barbecue setup, you know, and having an aperitif, and I didn't realize what they were doing. But I did see them take a cone and pour the blood inside the intestines, then tie it up and cook it, and then eat it after. That day I was feeling a little bit open, and I did have a little tiny taste. Not too much, and I won't be having that taste again. But it was an experience, and it's something that I have never heard of. They have so many ways to cook a pig. So many ways. Also, I'm not a big meat eater. Definitely not when it comes to pig or pork, anything like that. So it was pretty different for me, but it's a part of the culture, I guess. One thing that I had not done before moving to France was drive a stick shift car. Now, I'm used to only driving automatic cars. They're easy, they're simple, and I was terrified of the stick shift. It took my boyfriend some time to teach me. He's a wonderful teacher, but it took me some time to get my brain to understand how to move my feet and also shifting the gears. So that was a little bit tricky for me, but I got it and now I love it, and I would not go back to an automatic car. I think it's so much fun. I love going fast and changing my gear and hearing the engine. I love it all. Oh my god, one thing that I definitely did not know about, which is kind of confusing to me, are the driving rules here in France. Well, number one, the driving is kind of crazy and I feel like people do whatever they want to do. They will park anywhere, they will fix their car anywhere. it's just like there are no rules that I've seen. But one of the driving rules here, besides the one where you cannot make a right on red, because in America you can, you just have to yield before you do make that right, but in France you cannot do that. And also, drivers on the right have priority, meaning that if I am on a single road and there's another road coming off this way to my right, if they do not have a stop sign, I have to stop for them. So I'm on this main road and they're on this right road coming onto the main road. If they do not have a stop sign, I have to stop for them. Now, I almost got into a couple accidents over this in the village because that does not make any sense to me. I'm not used to that, so I really had to learn that and get that down while I was driving in France, while I'm driving in France. Oh my god, this is kind of a funny one, but I have been, well, including my boyfriend's parents' house, but also other homes in France, and when they serve you tea or hot chocolate, they give it to you in a bowl, not like a mug. You know, something that you would typically drink tea out of or hot chocolate out of, like a cup, a mug, something. They give it to you in a bowl with a little spoon, and that was kind of like, huh? Like, I didn't really get that, but I didn't question it just because I thought, you know, well, it's normal to them, so I'm not gonna question it. Maybe they think that I'm weird for not drinking hot chocolate out of a bowl. I want to go ahead and get into these expressions because they're just so fun to me. Alright, so I'm gonna read it off of my notebook because I wrote them down, and they're not so many, but just kind of the more popular ones. Okay. So the number one, well, the first two are ones that I just could not get over. They were just so funny to me. But my favorite one. So what we say in English, I'm going to say it in English, and then I'm going to give you the translation in French. Like, okay, so I'm going to say this. So in English, it's "you are as dumb as a rock." And in French, the translation is "you are as dumb as a broomstick." In English, one is, "it's so easy, a caveman can do it," right? We hear that like everywhere. It's so easy, a caveman can do it. The translation in French is, "it is as easy as putting your finger in the nose," which is so funny. But you know what's really funny? My boyfriend has big fingers, and he actually cannot put his finger in his nose. Can you put your finger in your nose? It's not easy for you, is it? Put your finger in your nose. Sorry, babe. You can't put your finger in your nose.
Shut up.
Anyways, between a rock and a hard place. Now the translation for that in French, it's "between a tree and the bark, you should not put your finger." Okay, so he stood me up. The translation is "he brought a rabbit." I would love if a guy brought me a rabbit, but it's not good in French. Okay, I'm down in the dumps. You know, when you're like sad or you're just not in the mood, I'm down in the dumps. The translation for this in French is "I have the cockroach," which is makes sense because cockroaches are in dumps or dumpy area, so I get it, I get that one. Can we meet halfway? Let's cut the pear in half. I don't want to be with you, like kind of like breaking up with you. I don't want to be with you. I'm giving you the rake. I don't care, or I could care less. I care about it like I care about my first shirt. That is just so savage. I care about it like I care about my first shirt. Like, that is just so savage. You're grumpy. This one's so stupid. You're grumpy is like you're farting sideways. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Okay, mind your business. Deal with your own onions. It's just like a farmer thing, I think. Like, deal with your own onions. Don't come over to my land. Deal with your own onions. It's useless. It's like peeing in a violin. Making a fuss about something. The translation is, you're making a whole cheese out of it. that is really French. This one's not so proper. So like sleeping around, it's like dipping your biscuit. I feel it's more of like an English thing. Like in England, I can see them because they love their biscuits and their tea. So I can see like you're dipping your biscuits. Okay, in English, it's like, that is so out of the blue. In French, the translation is nothing to do with sauerkraut. So as you can see, some of them don't really make so much sense, but they're just so like silly and funny and just good fun. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. If you know any funny like expressions, definitely leave them down below. And if you've moved to a new country and you're not used to like some of the things there, the customs, the food, something that's new to you, you never heard about, let me know about it. It's fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be friends forever. Bye.